Hey everybody, it's Kira and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I don't normally do, but I'm going to be doing a what I am currently reading video. So normally I like to read like one or two books at a time. A lot of times I will listen to an audiobook to fall asleep and then I'll be reading one book physically, and that's like it. I don't like to read so many books at a time just because like I don't want to get confused on things. But I am in the middle of like 5 books right now, so you know that's what happens sometimes. So the first book I want to talk about is the audiobook for The City of Brass by S.A. Tarbotsky. I was reading it on Hoopla and it automatically returned itself, which it does, and so then I went to check it out again and it decided to say, it said, "Your library no longer offers this title." And I was like, great! I was in the middle of rereading that book. I might go home and get the physical book so I can finish rereading it because I was like in the middle of it. But if not, I'll just get the audiobook some other time from some other place. So that is the reason that I am in the middle of that one. The audiobook that I started after getting cut off from The City of Brass is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I read this book, I think, sophomore year of high school, and I didn't really like it because I had to read it for school. But I saw a trailer for the new movie that's coming out, or is out already, and on HBO. And I was like, that looks really interesting. I need to reread that book so I can see, like, so I know what's going on. So I'm listening to that on audiobook to fall asleep to. It is weird. I remember now why I didn't like it, and it's because it's so disjointed, like you don't know really what's happening when. It doesn't flow very well, but that's kind of the point. And if you read it for English class and you have to like take apart the text, you know that that's like that's kind of the point of it. But it's interesting, but I'm not loving it. But I am gonna finish it and then maybe get like a free trial of whatever streaming service the movie is on, so I can watch the movie, because I am really interested in seeing the movie. So the next book I am also rereading, and that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. If you didn't know, I am taking a Tolkien class in school, and so we are reading The Hobbit, and then we're reading some of his short stories, and then we're going to read The Lord of the Rings, and I am in love with this class. My professor is so amazing, and it's just like such a fun class to be in, and like almost all of us are nerds. There's one guy in there who like hasn't read any of Tolkien's stuff and he like doesn't really like it, and so it's really funny because the rest of us are all like big nerds and we're all like, oh, we love this, and he comes in and he's like, I hate Gandalf, I hate the narrator, I hate Bilbo, I hate the dwarves. But he really brings different questions to the table that like the rest of us maybe wouldn't have thought of before, and he brings a different perspective. So I really actually enjoy having him in class. But yeah, so I'm rereading this. This is my mom's copy and the cover kind of came off because it's old, so whoops. I will have to tape that back on at some point. But this is actually the second time I'm rereading this year. I read it back in April or May for my freshman seminar class, which is actually taught by the same professor as who's teaching the Tolkien class right now, which kind of makes sense. So we ended that class with The Hobbit, and we're starting this class with The Hobbit. So, but one thing that's really cool that we're doing is we're doing this project called a word study, and so we're picking 2 words, and then we're going to like note when they occur in each book, and then you have to like write a paper about it. And so that's been really fun. So you can kind of see, like tabbed up where the words occurred. So I'm doing the words hope and then courage or bravery, and so it's been really fun so far. It gives me something different to look for when I'm reading the book, and it's just like a fun time. And I'm excited to reread Lord of the Rings because I haven't read those since like 7th grade, so, and I definitely know the movies better for those. But yeah, The Hobbit's good. It's not my favorite actually, but like it's fun rereading it and looking for specific things. So this book I am also rereading for class, and that is Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I'm reading this for my English class. It's the first book that we're reading, and we were supposed to read to page 25, so I did. So we didn't get very far. We literally got through, like, they were running around to dry themselves off, and then like somebody told the story. I don't remember very much of this book, honestly. It's not my favorite. I read this, again, I think in like middle school for fun, and it just wasn't my favorite. I don't like the super out there, like weird, doesn't really make any sense stories, and so this is definitely not my favorite. But it is interesting rereading it because I don't remember a lot of what happens in it, and I know this is a lot of people's favorites, and I know that I have to write a paper on it as well, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, rereading this again. Okay, this is my last reread, I promise. So I'm also rereading Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is just such an amazing book. So Muse of Nightmares comes out October 3rd, I think, and Kaz over from The Little Book Owl is doing a Strange the Read-Along, and so we're supposed to read Strange the Dreamer in September, and then once Muse of Nightmares comes out, you read Muse of Nightmares, and then you can, she's going to do a live show. I don't know if she's doing it with anybody else, but she'll have a live show to like discuss her thoughts. So I'll leave her video, her announcement video down below. So I'm rereading this, and I figured out that I can read about 21 pages each day, and I will be finished by the time Muse of Nightmares comes out, which I have pre-ordered and I'm so excited for. I cannot wait. So this green tab tells me where I need to get to each day, except I'm behind because I forgot to read yesterday, so I have to read more pages today. But it's just such a magical book, and it's just so wonderful. I can't even describe it to you. It's just such a good book, and I love it so much. And then the last book that I'm reading, which is finally a new book, is called The Gift by Brian M. Lifton. I always forget the author's name. So this is the second book in the, I pronounce it Chivis trilogy, which my friend Molly lent to me, and it is her favorite series. And I finished the first book, which is The Sword, and I honestly wasn't super impressed. So it's basically takes place in this post-apocalyptic world where we have like the normal world, and then there was a big virus and everybody got scared, and so we had nuclear warfare, and so everybody like is basically destroyed. And so now we're back to like swords and horses and arrows and stuff like that. So basically it's about these two main characters, Teofil and Anastasia, and they end up finding a Bible, and that ends up revolutionizing their world in a way because their religion is like kind of weird. But yeah, so this is the second book, and honestly I'm liking the second book so much more than the first book. And I was complaining to Molly about how the first book was like not really my favorite. I just don't really like the writing style, honestly. But she's like, you have to get to the second book. The second book's her favorite, and she's like, it's more intense and it gets so much better and it's just really amazing. And I'm like, okay. She's like, the first book is really setting the groundwork. And I'm like, now that, I mean, I'm not too far in. I'm 165 pages into The Gift, and I can definitely see that the first book was so much set up. Like, I kind of wish it was less set up, because like the story is interesting, but I feel like the writing style is just very simple in a way. Like, it reminds me of like how I would read a movie. Like, it's just very like simplistic but very matter of fact. Like, here's what it looks like, here's what this person's thinking, here's what happens. Like, it doesn't have like, it's very different from Strange the Dreamer, where there's a lot of like more flowery language in this. In this one it's more just like, this is what happened, and which isn't like my favorite thing to read. But story is so amazing, and it's getting so much better already in the second book, so I'm really excited to see where this goes, and I have no idea where it's gonna go for a third book as well, because there's the third book, and yeah, I don't know, but it's pretty good. Okay, I talked way too long, but those are all of the books that I'm currently reading. Comment down below, let me know, do you like to only read one book at a time? Do you like to balance multiple books? Yeah, just let me know, what are you reading now? Let me know, I'd love to chat in the comments. So, thank you again for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!